Hello, and welcome back to the Navigator Rework, Identities Beyond the Scan. Today we'll be discussing yet another legend changed under the Navigator banner. But before we do, let's quickly discuss an aspect of the Navigator Rework that I kind of forgot about in the last video. Navigator Class Perks. Long story short, the current class-based perks are in line with my vision of the Navigator class. And honestly, there aren't any issues I have with them, so they get to stay. Now let's get back to adjusting our Navigator legends. Next up, we have everyone's favorite aura farmer, Crypto.
I'm here to break the game.
The goal with Crypto's changes is to preserve his eye-in-the-sky identity, while removing some of the ease of scan usage against enemy teams. These changes also have a secondary goal of making him more independent of his drone and pushing into the power fantasy of a hacker. Passive adjustments. To start off with, we're overhauling Crypto's passive altogether. His new passive is called Data Breach, which allows him to do the following. Scanning recent death boxes, limited to a window of about 45 seconds, reveals the location of remaining teammates to both Crypto and allies as delayed enemy pings. This ping will only occur if enemies are within Crypto's drone range. Okay, on the surface, this passive sounds a little counterproductive to the Navigator class. So let's break down the reasoning for this addition a little bit further. As mentioned earlier, this information is not a scan, but a delayed ping. But what does that mean? Well, a delayed ping is a new type of ping that would theoretically be added to Apex. When a delayed ping occurs, an enemy would receive the notification, location compromised, accompanied by a UI indicator similar to Sparrow's tactical. After 5 seconds, the location that the player was at will be revealed via a standard enemy ping. This new type of ping gives the enemy player the opportunity to move from the compromised location. And if they can't run, this would at least give them more heads up time that they may have a fight soon. Delayed information creates a scenario where Crypto's team will have an indication of position rather than the exact position. And I believe that's allowable within the context of the Navigator class. Mostly because it lacks a guarantee that the enemy will still be there, and this is doubly true in our current landscapes of altars, ashes, wraiths, and valkyries, and triply true when considering the time limitation and distance limitation of the passive. Lastly, recall that Crypto is a hacker, and even in one of his finishers, he steals a data chip from an eliminated enemy. I believe it is in his character to be able to compromise the information of enemies. Tactical adjustments. With the removal of Crypto's old passive, Crypto's drone functionality would be heavily impacted. To ensure that Crypto still retains familiarity in usage, we're applying the following changes. Crypto's old passive, Neuralink, is now integrated into the tactical itself. Neuralink only applies to Crypto by default. The auto detection range of the drone is reduced. Drone wall cling functionality is removed. Drone quick throw deploy is removed. Drone now has follow functionality when tactical is tapped, like Lifeline Healing Drone. Drone is now transferable and can follow allies up to Crypto's drone range, like Lifeline's Healing Drone. Transferring drone to an ally grants them the Neuralink passive, with reduced auto detection range. Crypto still receives information provided by drone when transferred. If drone is following a player and they are knocked, the drone is destroyed. Drone can still be shot like normal while following a player. Crypto no longer calls out the number of teams in the area when drone is deployed. In-game banners no longer display the number of teams in the area when the drone is deployed. Alright, so a lot is going on here. Let's take a moment to fully understand what that all even means. Crypto still has two modes of drone deployment. Either hold the tactical button to engage manual piloting, or tap the tactical to deploy in an automatic fashion. However, the automatic deployment now mimics Lifeline's healing bot instead of tossing the drone out like he used to. When you pass off the drone to a teammate, you are essentially giving them the ability to see info pop up on their screen like the drone used to do. But the difference now is that the drone can only be passed to one teammate at a time, and this limits team synchronicity. Also, the information provided to them is only given at a reduced range, and in practice, it would behave more like threat vision than hardwired scans, because the player has to get way closer for scan detection to occur. Passing off a drone to a teammate actually benefits Crypto the most, since he can see enemies that they pick up, and that allows him to very quickly coordinate in the fight. But the fair counterbalance is that the drone can be shot down, and it is destroyed if the person it is following is not. These changes in some respects make Crypto extremely strong to use, and in other respects extremely risky to play. Crypto must now decide whether to use the drone's follow function to play aggressively or play safe while manually piloting the drone. In either case, the risk of having the drone shot down and put on cooldown necessitates precise situational timing and high overall ability. In regards to removing the team callouts, I just don't believe any character in the game should be able to know at all times how many teams are near them. That feels unhealthy for the game and devalues survey beacons. Also, Crypto already has a drone that can be piloted. If you want to know who's around you, that's what you should use. As a side note, I believe it best to have the drone following above the shoulder when in follow mode. Ultimate adjustments. Ultimate radius is reduced. If drone is recalled or destroyed, ultimate can still be used, originating from Crypto himself. If the ultimate is deployed from Crypto, the ultimate deploy time is increased to 4 seconds and cancelled if Crypto is not. Decoupling Crypto's ultimate from his drone allows Crypto to have more reliability in the average engagement. Considering the fact that Crypto will still take damage, slow his allies along with his enemies, and take longer to deploy his ult, this ability will require extremely strict timing to pull off correctly. Upgrades. The majority of the existing upgrades are already decent outside of the recently added power coupling upgrade. I personally believe that enabling Crypto to repeatedly use his ultimate is bad for the legend balance of the game, because it basically invalidates the entire controller class. And it also over rewards Crypto for doing what he is already intended to do. So instead, it is being replaced by a new upgrade called System Failure. Ultimate damage and movement slow removed. Ultimate now silences for a short duration. EMP color changes to red. Overall, these changes redefine Crypto as the polar opposite of Bloodhound. A high skill ceiling character, unforgiving with mistakes, but extremely strong when executed correctly. With more options to participate because of drone following and independent ultimate, Crypto now feels more like a legend with a drone than a drone with a legend.
Yana, this may be the last time you compete.
Thank you for watching, and let me know how you feel about the changes in the comments. Next week, we'll be discussing Valkyrie, so subscribe and tap the notification bell to make sure you know when that drops. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.